Right guys, it's Farmer Daily at Cannonall Farm. I thought we'd come and say hello to... Hey up. I didn't think she'd come this close to good old Shakira. Farmer David's choice of name that. After some brilliant moves on the TV. So, Shakira, one of our younger female alpacas, was the star of this week's episode of This Week on the Farm. She's doing brill and she's feeling loads better for having all that wool off. She's had a little bit of an extra trim because she's a younger alpaca. It wasn't... they need trimming a little bit later on, basically. Depending on when they've been born, it will depend on when they need their first trim of their coat, of their wool. It's alpaca wool. And she needed it quite desperately. And farmers, Rob and Dave, had a go at cutting her hair. Let's see how they did it. Right, here we are. She's doing well now. And they always say a bad haircut doesn't last too long. When you're an alpaca, that's not true. They have so much wool on their body, and then we trim it down to look a little bit like this, and to which most people think it looks absolutely silly. And it does, but it's what's necessary. Trimming all the body down to give them a little bit more of a tidy look is also for the purpose of keeping them cool. In a really hot British summer, it can get a little bit too warm for alpacas if they're carrying a really big fleece, so we have to trim it away, and we leave these little bits on to make them look nice. And we've got the legs there at the bottom of the legs. Actually, the legs is really hard to shear, so that's one of the reasons. And then we leave it on the head. Again, that can be really hard to do, especially when you've got a head collar on and you're trimming them. And we leave a little bit on the tail. You can see the difference between here. And one of the reasons we like to try and keep it trimmed up a little bit, we trim it away from under their chin, is this. What's happening to this one? It tends to get a little bit of saliva and a little bit of slaver under their necks. So Shakira isn't having that problem because she's recently trimmed up and sorted. And you'll see we'll always make an effort to trim away the long hairs under their neck. So, I don't know about you guys, I think they did a fairly good job. What I will say is, it took them absolutely forever. It's a good job they're not doing it as a job, because they'd be there a hell of a long time to get paid for shearing alpacas. I can't tell you how long it took them, but it was definitely a really long time. So Shakira's looking well, she's in cracking nick, she must feel better for having that wool off. And the rest of the alpacas are looking on enviously, wondering when it'll be time for them to have the rest of their wool off. They were actually done quite a little bit earlier in the year, and this is more what you'd expect them to look like at this stage. Right guys, thanks very much for watching this video. Just a quick update on Shakira and how she's doing. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a like and a share, and always remember, a bad haircut doesn't last too long unless you're an alpaca, in which case it does last about 6 months. So we'll see you later, and I'll see you. Bye guys.